God made you, you belong to Him in body and spirit. And what does the one God seek? Godly offspring. So be on your guard and do not be unfaithful to the wife of your youth. Um, I think what the overall message that this section was trying to show, what the burden that was on the prophet's heart was that the people of Israel were not wholehearted. And in the previous chapter, the prophet talks about how, as Brother John was saying, how that God is a great king, and the people of Israel is disrespecting Him by the offspring that by the sacrifices they're sacrificing to Him. And in verse 14, it talks about, it says in chapter 1, verse 14, cursed is a cheat who has an acceptable male in his flock and vows to give it, but then sacrifices a blemished animal to the Lord. And so that just goes to show that they were half-hearted, because they still come and sacrifice to the Lord, and they go through the rituals and like the motions of being religious. But instead of being wholehearted and giving that acceptable male in his flock that they vowed that they would give, they give a blemished animal. And it says in verse 12 about how when they're sacrificing, they're thinking about what a burden it is to do all of this. And so here in chapter 2, in the verses that I was reading, when Malachi is saying, be faithful to the wife of your youth, what that reminded me was of when Jesus was talking about losing our first love. And the wife of our youth is like our first love. And so the people of Israel, when they grew, or when they matured, they went away from that first love and that wholeheartedness that they once had. And so here the prophet Malachi is telling them that you have to be faithful to the wife of your youth. And it goes on to say in verse 15, has not the one God made you? You belong to Him in body and spirit. And what does the one God seek? Godly offspring. So be on your guard and do not be unfaithful to the wife of your youth. And so what I understood from that is that God wants us to be wholehearted. And God, as I said, you belong to Him in body and spirit. And what does that one God seek? Godly offspring. So God wants us to be wholehearted. And when we bring sacrifices to Him, He doesn't want half-heartedness, but He wants wholehearted sacrifices. And as it says, godly offspring. He wants fruit from our lives and legitimate, genuine fruits in our life. And so, as it says, so be on our guard and do not be unfaithful to the wife of your youth. So I pray that we can all be on our guard and not lose our first love and not be unfaithful to it.